So what I'm here to talk to you guys about is about how I encountered God and how He brought me closer to Him. So I was on a retreat in my home city, and it was kind of a lot like Steubenville actually. And I had gone the year before, and I kind of liked it, but I didn't really feel anything. So the year after, I decided to go back, just kind of because my friends were going. So I went back, and I was kind of having some fun, but not really. And then came time for confession. Now, if you've ever been to a retreat, you know that confession is a pretty big part of it. So before this time, I'd kind of been apprehensive about confession. I didn't really like it. I didn't really like the idea of going in some little room and telling some guy about what I did wrong, and yeah, I just didn't like it. So when I came to Steubenville sometimes, I would be like, alright, I'm never going to see this guy again, so why not? So I kind of had the same mentality going into this. So I took out my examination of conscience, and I sat by myself, and I started reading all the things in there, and I was just marking off the things that I did. So I went into confession, and I was kind of nervous, but I'm like, well, who cares? I'm never going to see this guy again. So I go to confession, I go face to face. And I go through everything, I say everything, no matter how long it's been, everything that I did, everything that I was ashamed of, everything that I didn't really want to tell him, I told him anyway. And when I was done, the priest looked at me and he said, "Are you done?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, praise God for a good and holy confession." Yeah. So now, in the past, and even like now sometimes, I get one or two priests who kind of just go, "Okay, we'll work on that, and for your penance." But this priest was different. He went down the list, and he said, "Well, you said this, and this is my advice to you." And he talked to me about it, and he counseled me. And he asked me questions, and I answered them, and he gave me advice. And that really stuck out to me. And after we were done, he looks at me and he goes, "Have you ever thought of a vocation of the priesthood?" No. Now, my family sometimes, like my elderly grandma would be like, "Oh, you should be a priest," and I would be like, "No." So I kind of dismissed it. I was like, yeah, this guy's great. So I went through the retreat, I had a great time, I got home, and I started thinking, what if he's right? So I started thinking about it, and I started to explore my faith more and to grow in my faith more. I joined a Catholic leadership group in my diocese. I started becoming more active in my youth group. I taught CCD. I did all kinds of things just to get to know God more. So as I was doing this, I came to the realization, with some help, that before you can figure out what you're called to do with your life, you have to be in a state of grace, and you have to know God. So that's what I strived for. I went for that. I kept trying. I kept trying to encounter God. I kept looking for Him, and I kept just searching for Him. And since then, this is my 4th Steubenville. I did lead. I'm very active in all kinds of different things, and it's just been great. And I've been going to confession more and more and more. At least a couple times a month, maybe 2. So what I encourage you guys all to do is to take advantage of that opportunity. There's going to be priests here all weekend. Some might be with you guys. I encourage you, I implore you, take advantage of that. God just wants to give you His mercy. He's not saying like, well, maybe if you give me $1 million. He's not saying that. He wants to give it to you. So take advantage of that. And if you're scared like me, you're never going to see the guy again. So what's there to lose? But seriously, if God can do that for me, He can do it for any of you. So I seriously challenge each and every one of you, take advantage of that opportunity and go to confession. Thank you.